Hello and welcome to the MHR podcast. I'm Andy.
I'm Alice.
This week I thought we would benefit for a conversation on benefits.
Very good. I don't think we spoke about that yet, have we?
No, we have. Well, not this year properly. I appreciate you overlooking my terrible segue there. But no, I mean, we talk about it a lot generally because it's obviously a very prominent HR payroll-based topic, right?
True,
because it leads to, like, the monetary impact of your work, and it's one of the reasons people go to work or may choose a different job. But I didn't want to talk specifically about like benefits and what they are as such. I wanted to take more about the attitude on benefits or how businesses are approaching them or managing them.
Interesting. It's probably been a little, or maybe a topic that's not necessarily reviewed. It's probably thought, oh, that's a good benefit. Let's also introduce that.
Yeah.
But how often are they spoke about or reviewed as benefit, actually valuable?
I think that the hooks of the problem of what we're going to talk about later today is actually going, it's great that you got them and everyone thinks about them at the start of their journey, but I think maybe everyone forgets to keep thinking about them and then actually thinks that actually that's a top-loaded employee issue.
Yeah.
It needs to be something that's continually supported throughout the lifespan of your employment.
Yeah.
So, I think you're onto it already there, Alice.
Definitely. I think we hear kind of across the media different unusual work benefits as well. I think everyone now has a standard, but I think to capture people into your organisation, that's the way that companies are going now, is kind of deviating from the norm of what a traditional benefit would be.
So I'm interested in your opinion on this. We're different ages, different work experiences. I would like to know your view of, what do you, when you go to a business and it's offering benefits, what do you expect, or what do you think is something that should be there?
I would say a lot of us probably look for some sort of fitness.
Yeah.
That might be me, but I think that captures people.
Yeah.
I think something that involves creating something outside the office. So if there's like a company day, or I think some companies now do festivals. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's a very prominent thing now, isn't it? It's like, join us off site where we do this big celebration as a company. Sometimes I feel like those are a really good employee incentive, but I also feel like they're very good brand advertising for an organisation.
Yeah.
Because what you end up getting is all their competitors at work talking about, oh, did you see that company did that festival and they got that star there to do a gig there and it wasn't that great. It must be great to work for them. And it's kind of, so it must be good for that employee to have that.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that's also a brand piece.
Yeah. So then maybe that's the difference between if I was to look at a job individually and say, okay, what would I like to kind of have from my work? I think it would come down to, well, what's my lifestyle? Well, I do enjoy the gym, so it'd be like a discount or something that's going to benefit my out of work life. What about you? If you give it a thought.
I think so. I've worked in different places where you get confronted with different ranges of expectations and what benefits should cover. Some will cover none at all. I've worked at some, like here, there's a really good range of stuff. And it's also about encouraging you to think about different things and how work can support your life as well, because that goes back to the topics we've talked about before in terms of financial well-being or physical well-being or mental well-being. We know that they're a thing. And I think a good employer should address how they can support that around just your core responsibilities. So definitely I think gym membership discounts are good because it's promoting good health and a good lifestyle.
Yep.
But I also think a lot of people now would expect options for kind of health packages, whether that's like private healthcare buy-in or dental buy-in. These are things that a lot of businesses should do, but I think can offer a real value to people because it's like, okay, you're in with us now, we'll make sure you've got better options to look after your health. You've got life assurance, so if anything was to happen, how can a business support you in that moment? I think you look at other things like, okay, what's your holiday packages or what's your flexibility around holiday packages? Will a company allow you to buy or spend or kind of replace holiday days around something that suits your lifestyle?
Do you remember last year there was something about having I can't remember which company it was, but it was that unlimited holiday. And it was like this big trial, wasn't it? And then people tried a 4-day week. It was.
There's a lot of companies that still do that. So like we don't have any actual kind of limit to our annual leave. And I think if that works for your business culture, that's fine. It depends on your business. It's not relevant for every sector, is it? And it's not relevant for how a lot of businesses might want to work.
Well, I think that's the important thing, isn't it? That you can't just adapt or adopt, a certain benefit if you think it's going to be popular with your employees. It's actually what works best for your business, and if it is actually valuable to the employees and who the business represents itself.
So there's that. What else have you got? Like
There's some random
discounts.
ones.
Okay, so we partner with different organisations and brands, or maybe a discount provider. So if you go to certain places, you'll get a discount on stuff.
I think you can collect points as well, can't you? I think sometimes you can sign up to a scheme, you can collect points, so like on your weekly shop, or if you buy a holiday, you can accumulate points.
We also talked before, and I think we did this last year, where there's a difference between benefits that are given to you in employee as a package, but actually benefits of working for certain organisations. So the culture is a benefit. How you align your work or your best practice is a benefit of working somewhere. We may not give it a monetary value, but there are things in terms of, I like the culture here because the way they're onboarding or introduced me to the business where I met these people made me feel great. The work-life balance is a benefit that I value in my life. The location of that business or how I'm expected to work in and around that business is a benefit to my lifestyle. So all of these things I do think count as benefits. It's just how businesses decide to package those things up.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think we're on a similar page. With that in mind, I'm reading quite a few articles recently. There's been a lot of discussion about it in terms of what businesses are doing to better manage business benefits.
Okay.
It also rolls under the kind of line of expenses as well. Now, expenses obviously aren't a benefit.
Yeah.
Expenses are just a process you often have in place to make sure that employees are looked after in regards to what their allowances are for business activities, so they're not out of pocket, right?
Yeah.
I have a limited knowledge on expenses, as you can tell. But a lot of the research is saying that there is something wrong with workplace benefits not working at the moment.
So in way not working.
So there is a lack of focus on what employees actually need and a failure to properly onboard staff among the key reasons are why benefits that aren't being used. So actually, is it that the benefits are wrong and they're not working, or is it that actually the adoption of this and the understanding of what people can benefit from is not there?
Right, so that kind of comes back to what we mentioned earlier then about if you're just kind of adopting more and more and more but not reviewing what's actually beneficial.
Exactly that.
It's just going to be a pool of different things at that point.
There's been surveys that's gone out. So about 500 UK HR directors carried out an employee money saving platform piece of research. Almost half, 48% of HR leaders said that they were seeing a poor uptake of employee benefits because employees don't seem interested on what's offer. So somewhere we're missing the offer, the sell of it, right? Which is very important when you consider that the employee market is incredibly competitive. Recruitment is hard. So if you're not hitting them with the real sales and the adoption, one, you're not retaining staff, but two, how are you pulling in employees when other people seem to be doing it better than you do, right?
I mean, also benefits are a cost to a business.
Exactly.
So you want to be getting it right.
You're buying them in anyway. If you're not utilising them, actually you're not getting the employee value from it.
Definitely.
So 62% of those that were surveyed agreed that benefits that are currently offered don't address what people really need. Or only useful to some of the workforce. So there's another point that's been raised there. Actually, are these just something we've always had, but actually life's moved on and they're not relevant?
Yeah.
Or are these actually only addressing a certain percentage of the workforce, and me as an employee who works somewhere differently, or how it doesn't benefit me in that way?
Yeah. I think that kind of comes back to what we were saying about whether there's been a bit of a culture change about what employees are looking for from businesses now.
Yeah.
But in terms of organisations, one of the articles that you kind of pointed out to me is the importance of why benefits work for businesses. There is a return that you can get on them.
Yeah.
And this article points it towards kind of that employee well-being.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of bringing in a better employee well-being through benefits, there are better business outcomes. So you can have an enhanced financial performance.
Yeah.
And then as we kind of opened up saying that the employee turnover is going to be less likely if your employees feel as though they're being looked after by their company. Yeah,
100%. So it comes back to building a happier workforce to increase productivity, retention, and reducing those costs from actually that not working, right?
Yeah, definitely circle.
As many as 1 in 2 with those surveys said they were willing to accept lower pay for improved and tailored perks.
Well, there's 2 of us. So
would you take less money for better benefits?
I think it comes down to actually the benefits that were presented in front of me. That's what my thought was.
And I think this is kind of what these articles have also raised in terms of people wanting to access benefits. You can't broad sweep this. Different people at different stages in their life, in different environments, in different circumstances, will look towards different benefits for different needs at different times. I am a bit older than you, which is a surprise, I know, to everyone listening. I might be more precious about health insurance and healthcare because maybe I'm feeling a bit more physically vulnerable than you are, and that might be more of a priority for me. And I would go, actually, I know what my healthcare costs could be in the future.
Yeah.
So if I would offset that at work, does that warrant me in a different pay packet? It could do. It's different. So I don't think it's fair for us to ask each other because I'm grayer than you are. But I think it's an interesting point in your stage of your career and where you are in your own personal life, you may look for different benefits that would offer you perks that I may not.
Yeah. So maybe part of the kind of HR department or the recruitment team is maybe having a look at the different benefits you can offer and what might be better to be targeting those age groups or demographics, or maybe even if the economy is changing like it has done quite rapidly. We've got a new government now. What could that look like in 6 months' time? Planning
and also,
ahead.
what's your employee data telling you? If you have things like what we do here with People First at MHR, what are you doing about collecting your onboarding data, your employee data, and using them? Even we're obviously not exploiting protected characteristics, but using the data you have on people that you can use to analyse actually where is our workforce placed, and actually what can we do? What are the trends telling us about how they behave and what they need, so we can offer a benefits package that's tailored to them that supports our culture.
Yeah, definitely. And then that comes on to the point about awareness. So once you've onboarded the employees, set them a reminder, 4 months, 6 months later. 100%. Once they've settled in their role, just give them a bit of a jog of the memory to say, have you looked at your benefits package? Or maybe you want to reconsider, what you've uptaken. So
are you aware of the windows where these change? So actually you've got an opportunity to buy or sell annual leave, or we've got these new packages coming in. These are the points in the year that you can review that. It's not just right, you're onboarded, that's your set. We'll give you a nice PDF document or a folder at the start. That's what you got. Come at us when you want it. It's like we've said with annual leave. Employees need to be reminded to take their to manage their incentives, and that's on the management as well. It's not just an employee to do it themselves. Part of them there is to learn and to grow, which means management needs to support them on making sure they're making the right decisions.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it comes down to the employees. We should be focusing on what is right for your employees, and understanding that there's varied needs as well as employees. You can't just package everything up. That's where I think the value comes from having benefits, is that employees will be able to suit what meets their needs and their lifestyle. So it's definitely been an interesting one to explore.
I think so. And the final point I've got here is that it goes to what you've just said, Alice, is it's about communication of those things.
Definitely.
So the utilisation of employee benefits is largely driven by effective communication and the support available, right? So there was an organisation that looked into this, and they were happy to report that if you do take action over the next 12 months to improve support around benefits, 43% of employers will encourage greater engagement and utilisation of the support. That's what they found. They're going to do that, right? 40% are going to make it easier to access support and benefits, such as using apps or online portals, which is a lot of what we do, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about reminding them. It's you've got a place you can access it 24/7 live.
Yeah.
You can always got a kind of a dashboard of what's available to you. How is that working into your pay packet? You can see that live, so you can make accurate decisions about your financial well-being.
Yeah.
Right. 40% people said that, with reflecting on how they can improve benefits, that they will increase communications of the support available to staff, as effective and regular communication is essential. And many employers are not receptive to this. Right? They're not doing it enough, so they do not fully engage with employee benefits, and as a result, employees don't engage with those benefits, and so they're not really seeing the real need for them or the benefit of doing so. So if you have sporadic communication, you may get peaks and troughs, but if you actually treat your benefits like you probably treat the products you're selling as a business, you put actually real marketing cadences and thought behind it. You're making sure that you're selling what you'll do as a business to your employees as well as you are to your external audience.
I'd say that was a top tip at the end there.
Why not? Top tip. There you go. So hopefully you felt the benefit of this podcast.
That was bad.
That was... look, I ended this as badly as I started, with some terrible segues in and out.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Yeah. But if you want to find out more, there's lots of content on the MHR Global website. And we have blogs about this very topic. There's obviously lots more you can read. You can find out more about what People First does to support your employee portal in regards to benefits, leave, expenses, and how we can we provide employees with a much better view on that. So it's worth looking at. Otherwise, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.